Hey guys, so upon finishing the Mokoko village arc and receiving the second arc, we made our way out of there and we made our way to Annika. Upon arriving into Annika, we started asking good folks of the city if they had any clues of the third arc whereabouts. Although many believed that it was just a fairy tale, eventually I found a man who says it's not here, but he does have a clue of its whereabouts. Of course, he didn't just tell me about it, because if he did, the video would be 30 seconds long and the game would be finished in like 30 minutes and you all be sad. But gladly, that's not the case. That being said, he did say he will give me a piece of paper that he had in his family for generations that was left by the founder of Annika to them, and in that piece of paper he says about the location to which he has hidden the ark. However, before that happens, two conditions must be met. 1. He only has half of the paper. We need to find another half. And 2. There is a tournament going on where the best fighters from all over the world gather, and the kingdom of Annika does not have their representative in this tournament. So we shall represent them and become the champion of Annika. Upon meeting both of these conditions, we will have our first clue of the third arc whereabouts. And so, does the journey of Annika begin. And so in the first match I faced off this lady that was pretending to be super strong. Spoilers, she wasn't. I defeated her pretty easily. Afterwards I did this dumb quest where I needed to cook some dumplings and find the secret fighting style of dumplings of my next opponent. Once I did, I fought him and honestly he wasn't that strong. I probably defeated him in just a couple of hits. But then again, there were still so many matches left ahead. It makes sense that the first few opponents wouldn't be that difficult. Then I needed to uncover the secrets of my another opponent, and so I went into this dungeon where I faced off a whole bunch of monsters and I needed to defeat this orb type of thing that was giving the powers to my next opponent. And so in order to do that I needed to defeat this boss, which wasn't too difficult to be honest. My bonking powers were enough to destroy her in one shot. Upon defeating her, her powers got released, and so I went back into the arena and faced off my next opponent. She had this cool skill where she duplicated herself and it was a little bit confusing which one of them were real, but I defeated her pretty quickly and easily. And so it was 3 down, 6 to go. Immediately afterwards I faced my next opponent. He had a pretty cool entrance, but aside from the cool entrance, he wasn't that strong to be honest. I defeated him in probably a couple of shots as well, although he did give me a little bit more of a challenge than the other ones. And then immediately after that, yet again, they gave me another opponent to face off, but this one was probably the weakest one of them all so far. I just defeated him like he was nothing. The only annoying thing he had, it was these lasers that knocked me down. Then I took a picture of this young man here and he had this creepy ghost next to him, and my man here was like, okay, great. No worries, that's fine. I mean, I can't blame him. If you're standing there alone, even a ghost is a better company than nothing. You know, speaking from my own experience. Anyway, before my next opponent, there were some demons in the town and I needed to help the city folks. So I decided to vent in this dungeon and clear the demons. The dungeon itself wasn't that interesting or anything. I just killed a whole bunch of monsters. I killed a few mini bosses here and there. And slowly but surely I made my way towards the end of the dungeon. And here I found Vikas, one of the commanders of the demons. And let me tell you, she wasn't exactly happy to see me.
We seem to have left an insect still alive.
Disgusting.
Also, my lady here was like,
If you want, I can show you more of my beautiful figure.
I don't think I will, to be honest. No thank you, but I mean I can't blame you for shooting your shot. Anyway, I used my bonking skill on her. She was pretty strong to be fair, the bonking skill wasn't enough, I still had to phase her on my own. After dealing a couple more blows however, it was enough to kill her off. She wasn't insanely strong or anything, but she did give me a run for my money, I'll give you that much. I did went on hard in this dungeon though, I could have went on normal. If I did went on normal, it probably the bonking skill would have been enough, but you know, I like a little bit of a challenge. She wasn't happy about me defeating her, she told me she's gonna remember me, I hope she doesn't though. After that I adjusted my skills a little bit, got a few of my skills to level 10, and then I faced another challenger in the arena. It was one of the guys that I helped defeat the demons for. He wasn't that strong or anything, I defeated him pretty quickly. Upon defeating him, I needed to find the secrets of my next opponent, so I needed to talk to this, well, portrait, and this portrait was actually hungry, so I needed to bring him my meal and he ate that meal, and afterwards he told me the secrets of my next opponent, which was like weird, but Okay, I suppose. My next opponent was kinda cool. He was able to shapeshift. He was able to shift into this bird, which was pretty cool. He wasn't super strong, but he had a little bit of annoying abilities. He actually was able to turn himself invisible, and so you had to guess a little bit where you were attacking. It took a little bit more time to defeat him than others, but it wasn't anything insane. I defeated him, and I made my way out of the arena, and I walked around the city asking for people if they can give me any clues about my next opponent, and what people told me is that he's extremely strong and I'm gonna have a bad time. Admittedly, this guy had a super cool entrance, so that alone was pretty cool, and he was looking very cool. He was kind of like a god looking thing, to be honest. His first form, however, wasn't strong. I destroyed his first form in one shot. His second form, however, he turned himself into a big guy, and he was a lot stronger and he had a lot more HP. That being said, he wasn't that strong either. I defeated him and I was almost at the end of the fights now. Also guys, what is that? Where is my bonking tool? What's up with that? But yeah, anyway, this guy took defeat pretty graciously, so that's pretty cool. Afterwards, we found out that my next opponent had his powers connected to demons, and so I needed to kill a demon that he was giving powers to him. But before I did that, I actually encountered this raid world boss. I noticed it on the minimap, and I noticed that there was only 2 minutes left before his arrival, so I decided to wait out, just just out of curiosity to see what happens. Maybe I thought I could give it a shot, and obviously enough, I couldn't. I was running around waiting to make a shot at him, and he just completely one-shotted me. But hey, it was worth trying, right? It's always pretty cool to explore things, so that's a part of the game I enjoy. But yeah, anyway, after that I made my way to this dungeon where this demon was located. Once I entered the dungeon, I was showed an animation of the dungeon, and in order to summon the demon, I needed to activate the statues one by one, and upon activating the last statue, this demon appeared.
A disgusting insect.
And guys, once again, I'm being called an insect. I don't know why this keeps happening. Is it the helmet that I'm wearing? I don't know. For all the tough talk, I showed this guy what my perfect swing looks like. And he just got one-shot. He didn't even have the chance to understand what happened. After that, I went back into the arena and faced my final challenger. Even though he lost some of his powers, he was still brave enough to fight me, and so the battle begins. For all his talk and everything, he was pretending to be like the toughest guy in the world, but he wasn't that tough. I mean, he was pretty strong. It took me quite a few shots to kill him, and he definitely was the strongest one of them all, but I suppose you would expect that as a final challenger. But I did make a quick work of him, it wasn't that big of a deal. And upon defeating this guy and becoming a champion of this tournament, I thought that it was over, but however, it wasn't. These guys arrived to arrest him for using demonic powers. However, this guy was having none of it, and he was ready to kill everybody in this place. But before that happened, his brother arrived, and his brother is the guy that I helped to kill the demons before, and his brother was kinda strong, so he vanished him for now. And while it did look like the end of the story, but however, it wasn't just yet. This guy went back to the demons in order to seek more power, to seek his vengeance. So me and his brother, we opened this portal that was leading into the demon dungeon. However, by opening the portal, his brother damaged his hand, so I went on my own. Now in the dungeon itself, there wasn't anything interesting at all. I have to say it was a pretty dull dungeon, pretty boring one as well. Not that good looking, not that interesting, nothing to do, no interesting mobs to kill. But when I made my way to the end of the dungeon, however, that's when things got a lot cooler. Once again I found Vikas here. She took the brother and she threw him into this crater, and she turned him into a demon and a pretty strong one at hand. And so this demon transported me into this other dimension, which I have to say was extremely cool. That was so cool. It was such a cool looking dungeon. Like, this whole vibe about this battleground was so amazing. I really loved this boss fight. It was maybe the best one I've fought so far, maybe only rivaled by the tomb boss in the first Ark that we fought, but even that, I don't know, like, it was really cool. I really liked this. He was summoning all of these other dimensions and everything. It was extremely cool. I liked it a lot. However, he wasn't that strong and he did die off pretty quickly. Vikas was pretty pissed for what I did, to be honest, so she decided to kill me off. However, the other brother came to help me, and he apparently is a quite strong guy. He managed to vanish her away, at least for now anyway. And so she ran away for now. And my guy was like,
This place is falling apart. We must get out of here.
and so there's only one logical thing to do when the place is falling apart. Sing a song, of course. What else are you supposed to do? But yeah, anyway guys, once I moved out of the dungeon, I went back to the city and I was crowned as a champion of Annika. And look what a cool ceremony they had for me. It was so cool. Amazing. Just amazing. And then I did this monstrosity. Whatever it did was, I hated every second of it. I immediately regretted even starting it. But yeah, that being said, that's not why we came here. We came here for this. To put two pieces of paper together, combine them, and have the next clue of third arc whereabouts. And now we have it. And our next destination is Argentine, or whatever you're supposed to call it. Or however it's pronounced, I don't know. But yeah, anyway guys, that was the journey of Annika. That's how we came here looking for clues of third arc. That's how we vanished the demons. And that's how we became the champion of Annika. So, what are my thoughts about this arc? First of all, I have to say, it was a pretty cool story, I will admit that. I did enjoy the tournament arc, it was pretty cool. Like, this whole arc was completely based on this tournament, so you would gather clues for your next opponent, go back, fight him, and then do it again, vanish some demons. And at the end we had this extremely cool boss fight, like one of the coolest I've fought so far. I hope there's so many more fights like this, even though it's a shame we didn't have an arc here, but it was a very cool arc to find the clue where to find the next arc. It was fun trying out the raid boss, even though he completely destroyed me, but it was fun at least to see how strong it is. Spoilers, very strong. I think it's safe to say I'm not coming back there for a long time. The vibes of this arc itself wasn't like the most enjoyable for me. Like the Mokoko village arc, I really liked the vibes of it, even though the story fell flat for me. Here it was the other way around. The story was amazing for me, I loved it, but the vibes of the arc itself, the continent, felt a little bit flat for me. Maybe a little bit dull, maybe it could use a little bit more colors and being a little bit more vivid, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, it's just you don't know how to put it, you just can't place your finger on it, but there's just something missing for me, and I can't exactly tell you what, but there's something for me that's missing. Story-wise, however, I loved it. It was an amazing arc. I loved the tournament. It was pretty cool and pretty unique. I watched so many animes and stuff where there was tournament arcs and I always loved them. And to play one in the game was just amazing for me. That was the highlight of the arc for me. Even though it was a highlight, but it was a highlight combined together with the last boss fight. That was another highlight for me. It was so cool. I just loved the way it looked. Like that fight and this like other dimension was so amazing. And he was like shifting this dimension backwards and forwards. And it was so cool, so cool. I would say that the tomb boss in the first arc looked more impressive, but the whole location and dimension shifting was probably cooler. So I don't know which one I enjoyed more, but it was amazing. I love both of them. So right now we have a clue where to find the third arc. And now, the only thing there's left to do is to make our way to the next location and start asking around people, do they know anything about the arc? For now, I'm really still enjoying the game, it's just so cool, man, I'm loving it. I don't know when I'm gonna run into these problems that people talk about, but for now, like, man, I'm just loving it. But yeah, guys, anyway, now that we know where we're gonna meet next, I'll see you guys in Arthurian. I appreciate you watching this video. If you could subscribe, like, comment for the algorithm, that would be amazing and I would love you for that. I do anyway, but you know, it helps. And yeah guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.